Amenities accessed do not equate to abuse received. Um, that should be a given. That should be a given. However, the population of people that do not know this at the onset of uh, abuse experienced or shared by someone else are not necessarily dumb or stupid, but more so unaware. Um, and which is the whole reason why groups and organizations with health and wealth and just they're always trying to bring awareness. They start out by bringing awareness to their movement, to their group, to their organization. Awareness is powerful. It's the knowledge that is the predecessor to actually doing something, getting closer to solving the problem. So, a justification of why you or someone else's abuse um, is that justifying someone else, yours or someone else's abuse, is minimization. When you minimize, you devalue the person that has come to you. You devalue their shared experience, their account. You you assert your truth and your knowledge up until that point as truth. Whatever I know about this particular subject that you're sharing with me is truer than what you're sharing, your account. Um, you also potentially discourage that person from seeking better help and freedom from their experience. You get in the way of that. You also contribute to this person's delay in their movement forward. Um, how you cannot do that is to say thank you for sharing, and you can ask, um, what is your goal? Because you may have some things already in mind as you're hearing what they're saying. You may be invigorated with how to go about it, but first ask what do you have in mind, and proceed from there as a team. Don't impose, oppress the person sharing about how they're being sexually abused, about them wanting to take their life, about them feeling robbed of their wages at work. Don't overtake the movement forward. Ask what they want to do. And if they have nothing, then you can work together side by side in removing the situation from them. Not so much them from the situation, but removing the situation from them, if that's possible. And it's definitely, if it's abuse, it's definitely possible, but how? There's so many different forms of abuse. There's verbal. I know of verbal, emotional, physical. Those are right off the bat. We know those. Psychological and financial and cultural and spiritual abuse are not always well known. I knew when I didn't really even know sexual abuse. Like, I knew that you could, there's consent and all these things, but it was it was the, not so much a straight line, but there was consent. Once that knowledge became verbalized through the awareness of the Me Too movement, I became more and more aware of how, no, it's not just because you want it, then you must get it. That much I knew when I looked through it in a worldly perspective, but biblically it was, well, your body's not your own. So if he wants it, he must get it. Then if she wants it, she must get it. That body is not your own. But that doesn't exclude the other person's heart content in the decision moving forward. So consider all of these factors. For example, with spiritual abuse, there's a video, I hope it's not on YouTube anymore, but I saw it on YouTube, where there was a huge church with a huge amount of members. The woman pastor stated that she just pointed to a man and said that your daughter is a witch. And so he was hurt by that news. He completely believed this female pastor. He took his daughter home and he asked his two sons to threaten her and tell her to you're the reason why we're poor and you're the reason why we're suffering and struggling. And so we rebuke you, witch. And so they began to threaten her by boiling her on just this huge pot of hot water. They held her over this water, and they felt like that was going to make her rebuke and repent, or just to confess that she's a witch. She continued to say she wasn't. And then they began to, and then she had just had peeled skin, and the person that was videoing was able to see the afterward where she just had peeled skin the next time he came across her. And then cultural abuse. Another example is in the same video, the person who was videotaping this video saw how a lot of kids were just wandering, and it wasn't like they were just chilling. They looked so hungry. They looked so hopeless. They all had either a mental or a physical deformity. So in many communities across the globe, if you do have a mental or physical deformity, handicap, or whichever, I hope that's the correct term. I don't even know. I might need to look that up. Then most likely, poor families are going to remove that child from the home, and that's it. There's no continuing for the health, the wealth, the care, nurturing, feeding of the child. That child is removed from the home. Culturally, that is acceptable. But a lot of times when someone comes to you and shares with you what they're experiencing, if you're inclined to not believe, or to not continue hearing what they're saying, or to not be of any kind of encouragement, at least give them, hey, I'm gonna pray for you. It's usually reflective of the fact that you really don't want to help. You don't want to be of any assistance. You don't want to be involved. I've found where in many men and women are ignorant of abuse, even when they encounter it firsthand. For cultural reasons, the victim may not be able to do anything about it or go to anyone else for help or relief, and they may have to endure it and be advised to not encourage it. Don't contribute to it anymore. Do your part to not anger the other person or to comply with the person that is abusing you. A lot of times when you share with someone, hey, I'm being exploited, I'm being taken advantage of, this thing is, really hurting me, or it's really heavy on me, or I'm being abused in this area, in this way. The person that you share this with, that you feel may help you, may want to bring into the picture that you were clothed, weren't you? They want to bring into the picture that you experienced or had access and obtained some amenities from the abuser. Weren't you housed? Like, you weren't homeless this entire time. So let's keep that on the board. Let's keep that in perspective. You were clothed, you were fed, you were able to have access to other things that you could do on your time. You didn't have to work. None of that is can pay for the abuse that you're experiencing or that person is experiencing. And the person that you're talking to is not only incapable of helping you, but they need help in themselves. They need help with their problem. And their problem is being short-sighted. They are so committed to unrighteousness that they are wanting to contribute to the unrighteousness that you're already experiencing. So anybody who is committed to truth, and I'm talking about biblical truth, anyone who is committed to biblical truth would hear this. They may not have what it takes. They may not have the boldness. They may not have the resources. They may not have the physical strength. But anybody committed to truth is going to make sure they connect you to truth. That's how you help. You connect them to the resources. You be of help by Googling. You be of help by calling. You be of help by being an advocate for the victim. Not contributing to the abuser by shutting your ear, closing your eyes, and silencing your mouth. Access to amenities does not equate to the payment of abuse.